So this will be controversial, but no, I do not think that AA was started with the intention to help people. I think it was started with the intention to build Bill W. a following. He was a narcissistic, wanting to be worshiped man. And just like any cult leader, they want to build a following. Anything with a following will do, especially if it has a grabby mission. He lied about how he got sober, then said it was the only way, died incredibly wealthy, and begging for a drink. I don't think cults ever start off good and go bad. I think that's a narrative that we are sold. I'm Daniella, scholar of cults, extreme groups, and extremely bad leadership. I wrote a book called Uncultured about growing up in the Children of God religious cult and then going into the cult of the U.S. Army. You can get signed copies attached here. I don't think that it was ever about getting people sober. I don't think it's about getting people sober now. When we look back at cults, there's always this stereotype. It started off good and then it went bad. And as a cult baby, I don't think that's ever true. I can't think of a single case. People don't just trip and fall into coercive control. People don't just build a good organization and then suddenly decide they want to start coercing and manipulating people and taking their labor. That's not how it works. When we look back, we can see that David Berg was trying to build anything with a following, built and failed a bunch of things before he built his successful thing. Same for Keith Raniere of NXIVM. We look at Jim Jones, and he was charismatic preaching at the age of 5, practicing his skills of manipulating people with his best friends all the way up through he finally built his thing. Adam Newman of WeWork, Elizabeth Holmes of Theranos, same, trying to start their thing. I think we don't have that many cult scholars who didn't join their own cults, and so it's hard to pick out that it was always bad from the beginning, because that's part of the con. That's part of how they draw you in. But I don't believe it, and I don't think AA is about getting people sober now, because if it was, they would be happy for addicts however they improve their quality of life, whether that was harm reduction, whether that's therapy and medication, whether that is complete abstinence and sobriety, but not through the group. They don't care. They only care about you if you've achieved sobriety their way, and that's a cult thing. By the way, cults are great at getting people sober, right? It works, doesn't make you a good group. Children of God got 10,000 people sober before they went and built the world's worst schmex cult. Scientology is great at getting people sober. The United States military is great at getting us sober when they pick us up and put us in deployment for a year where we're not allowed to drink. We're working 12 to 14 hours a day and there's no drinking activities going on. Doesn't make you a good group. And no, I don't think it was ever a good group. I think it's harmful, and I don't think that there's any way that adding shame, manipulation, coercion, and in a program built entirely on junk science almost 100 years ago is ever going to help people at their rock bottom. I don't think you send people that need help anywhere where predation and sexual abuse is so popular throughout an organization, regardless of what meeting you go to, that it has its own name. 13th stepping. AA is as much of a schmex cult as Children of God or NXIVM. It is harmful, and I will talk about it till the end of my days. Oh, hey, stay tuned, because we're also reading this chapter by chapter.